Hey everyone, I hope you are doing great. Today we will have a look at how you can deploy WordPress with Bedrock to Cloudways to a DigitalOcean droplet. I'm here in the Cloudways dashboard, and as you can see I have already added a server, but in case you have not added a server, you can just click on Add Server, pick whatever provider that you want, pick the server size that you want, fill in the application details, and then deploy the server. But we are going to create a new app, and so we can go to Add Application. We will select the Bedrock test server. We will go with WordPress, the latest version. Name your app. This is gonna be Bedrock YouTube on the Bedrock test. Okay, then we click Add Application and we wait for it to be installed. Now, after a couple of minutes of waiting, we have the new application, which is basically a WordPress installation. We can go here and we can see the application URL. If you click on this link, we will get to the website, obviously with not a real domain name, but it's okay for what we will do today. So here we have the information for the admin panel and for the database. The first thing that we need to do is to create application credentials. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Next, we have to go to application settings. Here, the first thing we have to do is enable Ssh Access. Okay, because we will use SSH and both SSH and Sftp. And what we will have to do, but at a later stage, we will have to change the web root path. But now let's connect with Sftp and SSH. So I'm gonna open a PowerShell instance and connect to the server. You can use the application credentials from here. So let's go with page around. Let me see the IP. And now we are into the server. Now we need to connect with Sftp. I use WinSCP, but you can use FileZilla or whatever you want. So we're gonna create a new session with the host name being the IP address from here, port number 22, username, this username that we have set, and the password here. So we are going to log in. And here we have the root of our server, of our application. If we go into the public HTML, we can see the WordPress installation, but we will not use this WordPress installation as it is. So we will go into the SSH client. We are in the public HTML directory, and we will remove all the files and folders in this one. So the command for that is rm-rf and asterisk or this kind of star. Enter, and now we have nothing left here. If you refresh here, we only have these protected files. Now we have done that because we want to deploy the Bedrock installation with Git. So back in the Cloudways dashboard, on the app dashboard, go to deployment via Git, and now we have to connect our GitHub account. I'm gonna show you with GitHub, but it's similar with Bitbucket or with another Cloud Git provider. So I'm gonna generate an SSH key, then we can see the SSH key here, we can copy it, and now we need to go to our GitHub repository. It's a private repository. If we go here to download the code, we select SSH, and we can see that we don't have any public SSH key in our GitHub account. So I'm gonna go here and we'll add a new SSH key, and I'm gonna call it Cloudways deploy. Paste it in here, and I'll add an SSH key, and it will prompt me to add the password. The password again, and now I have the SSH key here. If I refresh this, I can copy with no notice and no warning the SSH link. So I'm gonna put it right here and click on Authenticate. It will take a moment, and now we already have the authentication. We can get the main branch, and we will want to deploy the app or all the code, all the repository in our public HTML route. So we're gonna click on Start Deployment. Again, it will take a moment. Okay, the deployment is ready. So if we go into the FTP client and click refresh, you can see here that we have new Bedrock installation in here. So now what we have to do is go back to application settings and change the web root server. Bedrock is using the web directory for the app itself. So we are going to point our server to check for this folder instead of the general public HTML. Here in the application setting, click on the pencil icon and then just right here web. Save. It's gonna update in one moment. Okay, now we have to go back into the SSH client. And we can check here that we have all the files listed, and we need to run the composer install command. And now if we click refresh, we have everything that we need to get started, or we have all the app already installed. But before we are ready to use this website, we need to change the .env file. As you can see, it's not here uploaded because it was in the gitignore file, because in our local project it's on gitignore, in the gitignore file. So what we need to do with the .env file, we need to change the environment to production, change the WP home to the new URL we have here in the access settings, access details. It's actually this one. So I'm gonna put it here, but make sure you don't put a slash at the end. And then I will have to fill in the database credentials. So you can get them from here. I'm gonna fill them in really quickly. Gonna save the file and I will drag it over here. So it's now uploaded. And now, after all this is done, we can go to our website. And a quick disclaimer, if you go like in a regular WordPress installation for /admin, you will get an error. You have to go to wp/wp-admin to go to the login screen. So we are going to use the same username and password that is defined here for us. Login. And here we have the Bedrock installation. We can go to themes and let's activate the Hello Elementor theme and go back to the front end, and we can see that we have the install here. We can add a new post. We can publish it, we can publish it again. If we go view post, you're going to see this strange permalink issue. How you fix it? You go to settings, permalinks, then change to a custom structure that you want. You can see that here it's set up really strange. Just go with post name or whatever you want, save changes, go back to the website, new post. Here it is. Anyway, if you haven't been using Cloudways and you want to check it out, I have a link in the description. You get a 3-day free trial with them, so you can really check out how they work, how their interface is, how their services are. Anyway, I hope you have found this video useful. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Have an amazing day.